to the Highly Critical
Flick
Fans.
Fans.
I am Geneva Reese, aka aka Eva. This is
Dad, also known as
AKA.
Curtis.
And that is
Mason.
aka
Mason.
Mace or Face, whatever you want to call him.
Mace, Face, whatever you want to call him.
Macy. Well, today we are going to talk about Mr. Peabody.
Mr. Peabody.
This is going to be our introduction check. Now we have to go to the storyline,
Right.
Yes.
and we're going to start with Daddy,
Me?
Daddy.
Okay.
aka.
Storyline. So, what was this? Sherman and Mr. Peabody, or is it Mr. Peabody and Sherman?
Mr. Peabody and Sherman.
Mr. Peabody and Sherman. So, Mr. Peabody and Sherman is a story about a magnificent dog who adopts a boy. The dog's name is
Peabody.
Peabody, Mr. Peabody, and the boy's name is
Sherman.
Sherman. The interesting thing about Mr. Peabody and
Cornelius.
Sherman, well, actually, there's a lot of interesting things about Mr. Peabody and Sherman, but Mr. Peabody teaches his son Sherman all about history by traveling to the actual events in their time machine.
Yes.
Okay, so that's one part of the story. But the other part of the
Yes,
story
yes.
is the dynamic between the father and son.
Mm-hmm.
Sherman is starting school,
Yep.
and while Sherman is at school, he has a little problem with another girl. Do you guys remember the little girl's name?
Penny.
Penny. And then they get into a
Fight.
fight.
And Penny calls Sherman a dog,
dog.
because Mr. Peabody's a dog.
So they're making fun of Sherman.
It's an adoption relationship.
Yes. So they're making fun of Sherman because Sherman's dad is a dog. Which, I'm sure there's a lot of jokes around that. Anyway, they get into a fight, and then Sherman gets in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And this lady, do you remember her name?
Miss
Grunion.
Miss Grunion.
AKA Miss.
Miss Grunion thinks that it's a problem that there's a dog raising the boy, and she threatens to take
Sherman away.
bless me.
Sherman away.
She threatens
But-
to take Sherman away from Mr. Peabody. I'm laughing because Mom is over there causing trouble off mic. So Grunion threatens to take Sherman away from Mr. Peabody.
Mm-hmm.
And Grunion is heading over to Mr. Peabody's house to do an investigation.
Yes, yes.
But we know that secretly she wants to take Sherman away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Well-
that's the story.
And the Supreme Court said it's okay for him to have a dog. If a boy can adopt a dog can adopt a boy.
Very interesting.
Yes. That's very interesting.
Very, very, very interesting.
So on top of that, Mr. Peabody has this elaborate scheme to make friends with Penny's parents.
Yes.
So on the same night that Grunion's coming over, Penny's parents are coming over.
And he has a dinner party.
A dinner party. And while Mr. Peabody is making friends with Penny's parents, what is Sherman doing with Penny?
Making friends.
Making friends. But how are they doing it?
By going back in time.
And what's that machine called?
The way back.
The Wayback. Are they supposed to be in the Wayback?
No.
No. So they're going back in time. They're messing around with the space-time continuum. They're causing all kinds of havoc. And then they get in trouble and they go to Mr. Peabody.
Here's a really, really, really weird thing about it. That in ancient Egypt, which they go to, Penny gets engaged to King Tut, also known as King Butt. And then they say he dies early, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, and since they're getting married, it says that if he dies, then the queen dies too. They kill her and then they rip out her organs.
Yep. So you haven't studied that at 7 years old, but pretty soon you're going to study ancient Egypt, and they're going to show you how they make mummies, how they mummify people.
Yeah, I really don't want to know that.
You should. I didn't want to know either when they told me, but still, it's part of school. You're going to learn it.
They have to take out their brains by the nose.
Yes. It gets pretty nasty. And then they dry the bodies out and wrap it in
Toilet paper.
Cloth, actually.
Yeah, but it looks like toilet paper. But anyway, the story was pretty crazy. They go all over time and all over the world, and Mr. Peabody's doing all this amazing stuff.
Yeah.
And Sherman is... How old is Sherman?
Yeah.
7 and a half. He's the same age as you.
Well,
isn't he?
I don't think
Are you ready to go back in time, Eva?
Maybe
we'll get into my way back after this, and I'll take you back to ancient Egypt.
Genius. You can get some supplies at Severon. I bet they have way back skills.
Okay, so I can't take you back in time.
You can get some. It was pretty good.
They probably do. What'd you think about the story, guys?
It was pretty good.
Pretty good? That's it?
That was...
There was a lot of different storylines going on. There was a storyline where Sherman was trying to make friends with
Penny.
There's a storyline where Mr. Peabody is trying to get closer to his son, Sherman. There's a storyline about the Wayback Machine and all the time damage that the kids are doing.
I think it would be a good idea to watch the movie. We're not going to tell you anything else because then it'd be just the whole movie on radio.
Spoiler.
So that would be pretty cool. So you want to watch the movie, and I'm not going to... Oh yeah. Leonardo da Vinci is in here.
Oh yeah. So that's another cool part about the story. They go back and they meet all these interesting people.
Yeah.
Can you name some of the people that they met?
Leonardo da Vinci, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Ronald Reagan.
Come on, Mason, get in here.
People in the Trojan War.
Trojan, yep.
They met the queen who loves cake.
Yes. Marie Antoinette.
Oh. And...
Did she get her head chopped off?
Oh.
Yes, but not in the movie.
No. And... Who else? Oh.
We already mentioned King Tut.
Yeah. Einstein.
That guy that, the guy that's like... I said that.
Bill Clinton.
I've done worse.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. So there's a lot of science, there's a lot of history in this movie, and actually all the stuff seems to be pretty accurate. Don't you think, babe? Talking to my wife. Which fight is that?
He said that it's not true that he chopped down the cherry tree. He didn't want to tell a lie.
Oh yeah. So my wife is telling us about how the fight between Sherman and Penny started. They were fighting over the cherry tree.
Yes.
They're sitting in class, and what happens?
Really weird thing actually to fight about.
Well, they're fighting about history.
Yeah, but if I was them, I would not fight about that. I'm like, okay, you're right. You might be right. We have to research that.
Well, the fight...
Or go back in time.
They really couldn't research that because how did Sherman get all of his information?
He met
in time.
He didn't get his history from books. He got his history from traveling in time.
Yeah.
Which kind of limits his ability to prove what he knows.
But
what did you think about the story, Mason?
It was strong.
It was a strong story?
Yes.
Was it boring at all?
No.
Did you feel like going to sleep at any point?
No.
No? Okay, very good.
Kind of.
Kind of? You got bored in the movie, Eva?
Yeah, I just got, like... sleepy because we were watching it until like 8, so
okay, maybe it was a bit late.
Bedtime, so
okay. So what's next on the agenda?
special effects. This movie was cartoony.
Yes, it was an animated movie.
Yes.
And what's our rule about animation? How do we rate the special effects?
How they look.
How they look. So, what do you guys think about the graphics in the movie?
Graphics were better than video games.
Better than video games. It's very clear.
Yes. Very clear. Very clear.
Right.
Very clear. Very clear.
Was it on par with Pixar movies?
It
Yes.
was Disney Pixar. Wait, no, it was DreamWorks.
Yes, this is DreamWorks. So, yes, it was as good
It was
as a
still
Pixar
Disney.
movie?
Yes.
Because I think we've established earlier that Pixar movies is the standard for...
Oh yeah, we
High
watched
quality.
some previews.
Yes, we'll talk about the previews in a minute.
Mhm.
But can I just say something?
Sure, go ahead.
There's a short called Almost Home.
Oh, yeah, there was a short before the movie started.
Yes.
Did you guys like the short?
Yes.
At first, I thought it was part of the movie, and it was gonna be like how Mr. Peabody came, and like if they at the last world, they said, "Take your shapes."
That's right. Well,
Yeah.
Mason, tell us what the short was about.
It was about these aliens trying to find a home, and the aliens travel all over the universe, and then they find Earth.
Right, but what happens when they land on all the planets that they landed on before they got to Earth?
Something bad happens.
Something bad happens. They get attacked by these vicious animals and giant snails and crazy things, and they land in the middle of wars. Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
Yes.
It was
Sure.
really.
I enjoyed it. It was entertaining. Steve Martin was the voice of the lead alien.
Really?
Yeah, Steve
Who's
Martin.
Steve Martin?
Oh, well, that's a whole different podcast, guys.
But I want to know.
Steve Martin, he is an actor,
Uh,
and comedian, and he's very famous actually. And what was that movie that he was in? He played Inspector.
Gadget.
No, not Inspector Gadget. The Pink Panther. Did you guys ever watch the Pink Panther?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
we did.
Not the cartoon, the movie.
Yeah.
He was the star of that movie. He has white hair.
Oh right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really silly. You guys know who he is now?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I know, yeah.
Okay. He might not be happy that I'm describing him by one of his lesser movies, but anyway. So we liked the special effects. What's next, Eva?
Rating.
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 So I'm not going to go up to M&M's and popcorn today because I'm not crazy today. But if I do have to do that, well, then I would go with M&M's, popcorns, and pancakes just to mix together.
M&M's, popcorn, and pancakes. You liked it that much?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Pretty good.
Awesome, Mason. What do you give it?
Pancakes with a short stack.
Short
Oh.
stack of pancakes.
Yes. And some sausage.
So
My favorite.
So that means it was pretty good. Not the best, but pretty good.
My favorite. The best.
Oh, it's the best. So it's fantastic.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
Okay. I liked the movie. It had some laugh out loud moments.
Yes.
And Eva, don't lick the mic. We had some laugh out loud moments. there was a part early in the movie where I was dozing a little bit, but that happens sometimes in some of these movies that don't have that much action to me. But
that much action.
Well, it had action, but I'm interested in other types of action as an older guy, as a dad. I like dad action.
Like
when
guns and stuff like that?
Maybe.
No, not that kind of action. He means like the action that he like gets us in trouble action. Like he goes, "Oh, go to your rooms. You better go to your rooms, guys. No, don't do that. No, you have to stop that. No TV for a week."
Actually, sure, that's one type of action.
That's only on occasions.
All right. Well, so we've done that. Now, what's next?
Conclusion.
Conclusion. All right, guys. So it was
Wait, you didn't do your rating.
Oh, I didn't do my rating. I will give it a short stack of pancakes.
No, why didn't you like it as much as I did?
Why didn't I like it as much as you did? It I did like it. It's just it was predictable. I knew exactly what was going to happen in the movie when it started, and that takes away from the experience for me.
You knew that there was going to be a sword fight?
Well, I didn't know I didn't know the specifics, but I knew the storyline when it started. When it all started, I knew that there was going to be a problem with Sherman and Mr. Peabody, and they're going to have to learn how to get close. When he had the fight with the little girl, I knew that they would eventually become friends.
Yes.
And I figured it all out. So it had some. Okay, so in conclusion, Eva, what's your favorite part?
I liked. My favorite part was when. Smell my victory!
Oh, that's my favorite part. Victory. Smell it.
That's when the Trojan, when the Greek warrior made everybody smell his armpit.
Yeah.
And everyone died from it because it smells so.
Well, they didn't die, but they were knocked out.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. My favorite part, when the giant nose fell off of the Sphinx.
Oh yeah.
And
And I liked it when they went out of the Sphinx and they go.
when they fired out of the Sphinx.
Yeah.
Sphinx butt.
And then I also liked it about the Trojan horse.
There's a lot of caca jokes in this cartoon. And kids love caca jokes. Alright, guys.
Kind of.
Well, I think that brings us to the end.
Yeah.
We've watched yet another movie. And we enjoyed it.
We don't think we're gonna watch another movie in a little while, so we're gonna do previews next.
Okay, we will do trailer previews. That will be our next show. So on the next show, we're gonna look at a bunch of previews and let you know what we think about what's coming.
Yes.
All right, guys. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us again, and we plan to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.